You see, there are two types of petrol head. You've got idiots like this who like the Porsche 911, and you've got people like me who'd rather have anthrax than a 911 because I'm a Ferrari person.
Yes, but when you actually owned a...
And you can use this car on the school run because it has back seats. I mean, obviously, you'd have to have fairly thin children, but then you would have, because you've got a Porsche 911, so you'd have a thin wife.
We must all rejoice because Clarkson has finally caught the bug.
No, I
finally.
haven't. I still prefer the Ferrari.
Well, hang on. You've just spent the last 6 minutes then wasting our time telling us that that's faster, more powerful, lighter, and more practical.
Yeah, and cheaper. The thing is, no, I'm sorry, that's like sitting in a Volkswagen Beetle with mustard up its bottom.
Well, it's better than sitting there in a car that won't start but just looks a bit pretty.
Look, can I say, this argument's been going on for 40 years. It will go on for another 40 years. The correct place is in the pub, so we will do the news.
No, because I've just thought of something else, OK? It's really simple. It's all to do with I have passion for the Ferrari. I respect that, but it's like David Attenborough. I respect David Attenborough. I mean, just infinite respect, in the same way as I respect that car. But I have no passion for him. I don't want to make love to him.
Yeah, but,
That's what I'm saying.
But I have respect and passion for the 911.
There you are. You've just admitted on television you want to make love to David Attenborough. He's just said that.
Your logic sometimes, mate, is the most warped thing. I don't...
Shut up. OK, we shall do the news.
Right.
And now, the news. And we begin this week... with the Porsche 911. More specifically, the Porsche 911 GT3 RS.
Oh, now that is a business. It's faster, it's lighter, it's taller. It's possibly the ultimate 911.
In the same way that Ebola is the ultimate tropical disease. And what's all that scaffolding in the back? So far as styling's concerned, the GT2 is just a squashed Volkswagen Beetle with a wing on the back. I was loving my Lamborghini. But if anything, Richard was loving his Beetle even more. How's your Beetle?
Fine, thank you. How's your Audi?
Very funny in there, yeah.
Porsche has also made some rather remarkable cars.
Absolutely. There was the 911. There was another sort of 911. There was a slightly different 911 that was green.
Yes, I know. But this year marks the 50th anniversary of what I think must be the greatest Porsche of them all.
Is it a 911?
No.
I get confused with 911s. I never know where they all go. Is that a turbo?
No, that's not. That is normally aspirated.
So, wait a minute. The GT2's a turbo?
Yes.
And the turbo's a turbo, obviously.
Yes.
Why is a GT2 not a turbo, if it is a turbo?
But it is a turbo.
The GT2.
Yes, why is it called a GT2 and not a turbo?
Because the turbo's called a turbo. You couldn't have a...
You see? Does anybody here understand the 911 range? No? They're bored, aren't they?
Yes.
They've been making the same car for 13 years, and all they think to do is, well, call that one a GT3 and that one a GT2, and I'll have a turbo, a GT2, I'll have a GT1, a 959, put the engine in the back. God, it must be fun going into a Porsche dealership. I'm a 911. It'd be like ordering breakfast in America. I just want eggs! Stop messing.
Now, I was accused recently of talking too often and too enthusiastically about the Porsche 911. In fact, whenever I mention it now, Jeremy sticks his fingers in his ears and hums songs about Hitler.
And now we've got a problem with this. This is the Porsche 911 Carrera... What's it called?
C2S.
C2S.
Yes.
Now, we know the rules on the cool wall, OK? If one of us has a car, it's always uncool. Both Hammond and May own this car. I don't think the board is long enough to be able to accommodate that. Now, I'm trying to work out the direction. That's east, isn't it?
Let's say that's east, that's west, yeah.
Who lives west of here? Right, where do you live? Wiltshire. Does anybody live further west than Wiltshire? Ireland? Excellent. Could you do me a favour? Could you take that home and pop it on your gatepost? Thank you very much, and then it will live there forevermore.
No, those are the rules. I can't argue with that. They are the rules.
Right, here's one that I drove, and this is a truly awesome car. The Porsche 911 GT3. Fabulous!
Uncool. No, it's just why is this uncool?
It's just a 911.
It's all 911s are uncool.
Oh, now you're just dumb.
You think?
I think 911s suck.
I like some of what this audience is saying today.
No, they're uncool. Go somewhere else, Jeremy. They're all
super cool.
Thank you, sir.
He's come in an all-black rugby shirt. Get to the back. What do you think, girls?
Seriously cool.
Seriously cool. Seriously cool. How interesting that the girls are wrong and the blokes have got it right.
I mean, it's a brilliant car, but it's got no back seat. It's just got a load of scaffolding and roll bars. You have to explain
let me put it to you this way. I come to take you out on one of these one night. Okay, you say to me, why has it got all that scaffolding in the back seat in the ironmongery? I'd have to explain that to you. How interesting do you think that'd be?
Very.
Oh, dear.
Go out with you.
Fine. You see, the thing is...
You'd make the second date.
Can we move on? But we begin with Porsche. They offer an immense and immensely complicated range of cars, all under the 911 banner. Now, Porsche enthusiasts, by which I mean these two imbeciles, say that they're all slightly different.
Completely different.
No, slightly different. And that the best of the bunch is something called the GT3 RS. So, I thought I'd take it to our track to see what it was like.
And let's just hope that for once in your life you haven't behaved like a child.
What do you mean?
Well, I just said it's no good because I've got one.
Hammond, I am a professional motoring journalist, and coming up...
Amongst other things.
Coming up now is my professional review. This is the car in question. No, wait, sorry. Hang on. It's easy to be confused. This is it. This is a million times better than the old 911 turbo convertible. Mind you, that isn't saying much because other things that are a million times nicer than the old car include tuberculosis and being on fire, stuff like that.
But the steering was a defining characteristic of any of the generations of 911. It's about how it feels. You said how the steering feels.
No, I know you're right. You're talking about the little patter thing and so on.
Yes.
I know what you mean, but it's better.
No, but
now.
it means they've changed it.
No, but it doesn't.
Shut up! All 911s are exactly the same.
That's like saying all babies are the same.
They are! They are identical!
And all this, and that one that Singer has modified, that is completely different. That's like
Oh,
a
I'm
sort
still
of...
going on about it.
No, it's like a sort of 911 greatest hits.
That's like a Shawaddy greatest hits. What? It is. Can we please stop talking about the 911? Please, let's do the news.
Okay, do the news.
Right,
Do the news.
Okay, and now it's time for the news. Porsche has announced a new 911 GT3.
Here it is. I'm going.
Oh, this is going to be good. Revs to 9,000 RPM.
Shut up about your glorified Beetle.
It's not a Beetle. It's a magnificent thing. That is going to be about £100,000. End of this year, it'll be here. It's going to be wonderful.
All right. We'll move it on. Now, there is a new Porsche 911. This is the... Here it is. This is actually the Turbo and the Turbo S. Clues to identification begin with that interesting slot in the back.
Wait a minute. Didn't Porsche say a while back they were never going to make another 911 Turbo?
Actually, they did in the 90s. They did say that. Yes.
Exactly. So not only are they crap engineers, they're liars.
Oh, hang on. You cannot level crap engineers at Porsche.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. They haven't evolved. They had one idea and then they just produce it for year after year after year. I mean, you've got to move on. Look at this show. Maybe we can edit that out.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll edit that out.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, and yes. So what you're saying is Porsche had an idea and stuck with it.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I respect them for that.
Yeah.
Hammond, meanwhile, was in a Volkswagen Beetle and mooning C2, C2S, C4, C4S, GT2, GT3, Turbo, 997, 996, 993. Richard Hammond appears to have joined us in his Volkswagen Beetle. So you want to play? We've decided to kick off with the Porsche 911. You see, when it was launched, what, 5,000 years ago? This has to be the laziest makeover ever. It's like Lawrence Llewelyn-Bowen looking at a completely white wall and saying, yeah, I think I'm going to paint that white. And the front of the designery must have walked into the Porsche boardroom and said, yeah, that new 911, lads, done it. I'm off down a pub. Oh, my God. They haven't bothered in here either. I mean, apart from all this stuff, the satellite navigation and the heater and so on, which I think they've lifted from the Cayenne, the four-wheel drive Porsche, and that stopwatch, it really is a question of interior styling by déjà vu. So, to sum up, the new Carrera is pretty much the same as the old one, except the gear lever comes off. This is a Carrera S. And the S stands for so fat, balding, middle-aged man, go and have your midlife crisis somewhere else.